But this is for your benefit. This is for you. I already know how to do this stuff. I'm going over this so that you know what you're doing. A lot of you did not enter your answers in on Go Formative, so I got to make sure you know what you're doing. So for number 1, if you have to solve this equation, you have to do all opposite operations. So for number 1, you should subtract 1.2. You get 1.3x equals 10.3 minus 1.2. I'm going to need this at some point. 10.3 minus 1.2 is 9.1. And then divide by 1.3. And you get x to equal 7. Any questions there? Number 2, you have a fraction. I know the fractions usually freak people out, but when you have a fraction, my recommendation would be to, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. If you have a fraction, you're going to want to get common denominators of every single thing. So I'm going to put 1s underneath those guys. Once you get common denominators, the denominators like completely go away. So this has a denominator of 3, so I'm going to get this to have a denominator of 3, so I multiply the top and the bottom by 3. Get this to have a denominator by 3 by multiplying the top and the bottom by 3. So now I have 2/3 x minus 12 over 3 equals 33 over 3. Denominators are gone. So now I have 2x minus 12 equals 33. Use your awesome algebra skills that you're still building on. Add the 12, and you get 2x equals 45. And then divide by 2. And you should find x to equal 22.5. Someone yesterday, I think, asked me if I'm going to let you know if there are decimals on your test. There are. Not nasty, junky ones. There'll be nice ones, but like this is a nice decimal. But there will be some decimals. So any questions on number 2? Okay, number 3. Again, we have a denominator. We have a fraction, so I'm going to get a common denominator by getting a common denominator of -4. So I'm going to multiply this by -4. I have d plus 3. That does not become 3d. Leave it as d plus 3 over -4 equals -2 times -4 is 8 over -4. Those cancel. D plus 3 equals 8. Subtract 3. D equals 5. Any questions there? Number 4. I like number 4. Number 4, you've got a little bit of combining of like terms that's got to happen here. 6b plus 3b is 9b. 9 minus 2 is 7b. 7 minus 2 is 5b. So I have 5b. Bring down the -5. Bring down the equals. Bring down the 0. So then to solve, I'm going to add 5. 5b equals 5. And then divide by 5. b equals 1. So those ones are strictly just solving these equations, getting the variable by themselves. Tomorrow, these will be worth probably 2 points. 1 point for showing me that you know how to solve the problem. 1 point for actually getting the answer correct. So let's say you get the answer incorrect, but you show me that you know how to solve the problem. Maybe you put a negative when you shouldn't have. I can at least give you partial credit. So that's why showing your work is huge. Please make sure you are doing that. Number 5, Tiffany wants to buy a $380 camera. She can save $25 each week. However, before she can buy the camera, she must give her brother $70 that she owes him. So technically, Tiffany, let's see, 380 plus 70. Tiffany has $450 that she needs to come up with. So if you take 450 and divide by 25, we got 18 weeks that she's going to have to keep saving for. It's a long time. Long time for a camera. 6 and 7 are very similar to the ones up top, except for now you have some multi-steps going on here. Ooh, I really like number 7 too. Number 6, you have to distribute. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 8 is 16. bring down the plus 5, bring down the equals, bring down the 41. Now you have to combine like terms. So you have 2y. 16 plus 5 is 21 equals 41. Subtract 21. 2y equals 20. And then divide by 2. And you get y to equal 10. Any questions there? Number 7, you have to distribute twice on the right-hand side. So I'm going to bring down the 3p plus 2 equals, distribute the 3. 3 times 3p is 9p. 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times negative 4p is negative 8p. So I distributed. That's what I got. Now I have to combine like terms on the right-hand side. So still bring down that 3p plus 2. I have 9p minus 8p is 1p. 18 plus 6 is 24. So when you combine like terms, you use the signs that they have on that side of the equal sign. Now to solve, I'm going to subtract p. 2p plus 2 equals 24. Subtract 2. 2p equals 22. Divide by 2. P equals 11. That is a good 3 or 4 point problem right there. Did you distribute correct? Did you show that you distributed correctly? There I can give you at least a point. Maybe if you solved it wrong, I can help you out if you show your work. Any questions on the front page here?
No, I
got them all right? Good. All right, number 8, multiple choice. Which I think some of you are learning that multiple choice in math it's nice, but sometimes it's tough. So for number 8, it says, what is the solution? So here's our options here. So first thing we have to do is distribute. So then you get 3q minus 18 minus q equals 2q minus 18. Combine like terms, and 3q minus 1q is 2q minus 18. To solve, I would subtract 2q from both sides. They cancel. I have negative 18 equals negative 18, which is true. That is a true statement. So that's when it's going to be infinitely many, all solutions, something like that. The answer is B, because that is a true statement. The variables cancel. Once the variables cancel, you have to check your numbers. Is this true or false? Especially when you get to the inequalities, you really got to be careful. For number 9, no distributing, thank goodness. So we're going to add 5z, cancels, and you have negative 12 equals 11, which is false. So that's why it's no solution. Any questions on that one? Those two. All right, number 10, these literal equations. This one wants you to solve this equation for x. So get x by itself. So you need to isolate the x or isolate this variable. First thing you're going to do is subtract 2y. And remember, with these literal equations, you don't really get a smaller problem. Sometimes your problems look bigger. So then we have 5x equals. So if we subtracted 2y, you write this as 9 minus 2y. That doesn't give you 7y. They're not like terms, so you can't actually combine them together. And then to get x by itself, this is multiplication going on, so you're going to divide everything by 5. So x is going to equal 9 minus 2y divided by 5. I think there's only one of those tomorrow. Same process, though. Like, I can't stress enough that if you know how to do these, you will be fine. And if not, I'm going over them. There's a reason I'm sitting here going over them. I did number 11 for you yesterday. I was going to say last night. Okay, number 12, solve the inequality and graph the solutions. So with your test tomorrow, some of these are going to be multiple choice, and you have to be really careful with the multiple choice and the graphing of these inequalities. Because I can tell you right now, like for number 12, you would add 5 and you get x is less than or equal to 13. So that is your solution. For the graph, you're going to have to look for the graph that has a 13 with a closed circle because of the equal to. I can guarantee they'll have a closed circle going to the right and to the left. But if this is the inequality that you have, which one should you choose, the left or the right? To the left, because it's less than is to the left. I can guarantee that there's going to be one to the left, one to the right with a closed circle on 13. You have to be careful with these graphs. I can't stress it enough. For number 13, first thing we need to do is get a common denominator because you have a fraction. So we're going to get a common denominator of 3. So then I have negative x over 3 is less than negative 6 over 3. Denominators go away. You have negative x less than negative 6. You cannot leave things with a number in front of x. Like you can have a 1. You cannot have a negative 1. So to get rid of the negative 1, you divide by negative 1. But because it's an inequality, when you divide by a negative number, you flip your sign. Negative 6 divided by negative 1 is a positive 6. So there's your solution. And then to graph it, like I said, they're going to have it in every way, shape, or form here. At the 6, there's no equal to, so it's an open circle. And I can guarantee that on your test, there's going to be an open circle going to the left and to the right. But does this one need to go to the left or to the right? To the right, because it's greater than. Any questions there? I'm not telling you these things to tell you how they're going to try to trick you, but I want to prepare you for that because it's going to happen. All right, 14, 15, and 16, we just have to solve it. We don't have to graph it. So 14, I am going to distribute, and I get k plus 2 minus 3k plus 18 is greater than 0. Combine like terms. 1 minus 3 is negative 2k. Positive 2 plus 18 is a positive 20, greater than 0. So then to solve this, you are going to subtract 20. Negative 2k is greater than negative 20. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. Now, because I'm dividing by a negative, that is when I have to flip my inequality. So I now have k is less than 10. So that's your answer for 14. Any questions there? 15, when you are solving these inequalities, I always said to bring your variables to the left no matter what. I know you're going to want to bring it to the right because it's going to keep your variables positive, but with these inequalities, you want to bring them to the left no matter what. So subtract 7g. 5 minus 7 is negative 2g minus 4 less than or equal to 6. Add 4. Negative 2g less than or equal to 6 plus 4 is 10. And then we're dividing by a negative number again, so you need to make sure you flip your sign. 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Any questions there? All right, and then we need to distribute. Switch up colors, keep it interesting for you guys. 12 plus 6h is greater than or equal to 4h plus 40. Subtract 4h. 12 plus 2h greater than or equal to 40. Subtract 12. Oh, I wrote too big. 2h greater than or equal to 40 minus 12 is 28. And then divide by 2. And you get h is greater than or equal to 14.